Hello everybody and welcome back to Robert's Reviews. I want to apologize because when I was planning the year ahead, I somehow managed to forget putting Ant-Man and the Wasp on my review schedule. Like, I watched it a bunch of times, but I haven't put it on the schedule, and I don't know why I did that. I don't know how that happened. So I apologize that it's like 3 or 4 weeks late. But it is finally here. We are finally doing the review for it. So I hope you guys are excited. But today we're going to be talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp. Ant-Man and the Wasp was released in 2018 and it was written by Chris McKenna and Eric Summers and Paul Rudd and Andrew Bauer and Gabriel Ferrari, and it was directed by Peyton Reed. First of all, too many writers. Every time. And most of the time when movies are bad, there's just too many writers. Like, I honestly think so. And not that this movie's bad, because I don't want to say it's bad, because I don't think that it is. Is it good? No. It's complicated. And no spoilers here, but essentially we follow Ant-Man, and we follow Civil War, of course, where Ant-Man is on house arrest because he left during Captain America Civil War, which he wasn't supposed to. He was on house arrest. And it's complicated, but essentially the idea is they have to... Hank Pym and Hank's daughter, Hope, are trying to get the mother back. Okay, so that's like kind of where we're at. Because the mother is in the quantum realm, and they know that they can get into the quantum realm now safely and get back out. So they are trying to work on doing that, but they need Ant-Man's help. But Ant-Man is on house arrest. But then they run into this issue where this person named Ghost, not really named Ghost, but it just kind of looks like a ghost. They call her a Ghost. Her name is actually Ava. She shows up, and she also would like the stuff that they're taking for the thing because it'll help her with her phasing issue, which is when she can kind of in and out of phase. She can kind of like phase through walls and stuff, and she's uncomfortable with that, so she's trying to solve that problem. So I do want to talk about Ghost for a second. So first, it's Hannah John Kamen, I think it's pronounced, Kamen maybe, who plays Ghost here, and I think the main issue I have with Ghost is that she's kind of underdeveloped. I think that the idea is good. Like, I told you what she was doing just now, and I think that it sounded appealing. But watching Ghost isn't great. I think that she isn't quite the most well-rounded character in the MCU. I do think that the actress was also a little bit part of that. I don't think she was quite spectacular. I think she was just fine, which is okay, but, like, you know, could be better. I do have a few issues, particularly with Ghost, because Ant-Man is complicated when it comes to villains in general, right? Like, when you're watching an Ant-Man film, you're not really watching it for the villains, but I think that there are so many options for what we could have as an Ant-Man villain that would work so well that we kind of picked one that kind of feels like they had no idea what to do. And it's a roller coaster of a movie anyway, between like whether or not she's a villain, whether or not she's kind of helpful, and it's really complicated. It really is, because she's technically not the villain, but she is the villain. She's definitely marketed as the villain. But it's complicated. It really is complicated, which is good. I like the complexity of it, but I think that it was a little dry, which is kind of how I describe the whole movie. The movie is dry. There's very little plot. Very little happens, but like in the end, you're like, we knew that was going to happen anyway, so it was kind of it. The end credit scene was like really good. I like the end credit scene for Ant-Man and the Wasp. Is one of my favorite end credit scenes in the entire MCU. But getting to that point is definitely a struggle. So I think that what we could have done to fix this problem is a better villain, for one. Definitely could have used something better than Ghost. Personally, I think so. Then, the other issue that I think I have here is it feels like this could have been 10 minutes long, right? Like, one tiny thing goes wrong, and it's just like a whole issue. But there's ways that they could have solved this problem without having to do everything that they did. Like, there's definitely ways they could have done that. But they just kind of didn't. Because they needed to have a movie. I do think the movie's way too long, but the reason you watch the movie isn't really for the plot, right? Which is true about many movies, but not many MCU films. A lot of MCU films are like, you're watching this because, like say the Avengers, right? Of course you want to know about the characters, but really it's about them trying to defeat Loki, and you like that kind of whole, like, villain, heroes kind of thing, which is definitely how superheroes movie works, I mean, obviously. But this film does something different where it's very much character driven, right? We watch Ant-Man and Ant-Man and the Wasp mainly because we love Paul Rudd as Ant-Man, which is just true. We love Paul Rudd as Ant-Man. There's no better Ant-Man. We love him. I love Paul Rudd just in general. I would love to meet the guy at some point. But that's the reason we watch this film, and it works. It draws people in, and it keeps them watching, and it makes us want a third one. The third one seems very hyped. I'm very excited about it. It's called Quantumania, so I'm really excited to see how we kind of deal with that. I'm really, really excited. I think it's going to be really good, but maybe it won't be. I don't know. The way that it's marketed right now doesn't seem like it's going to be very good, but I feel like the title just kind of gives us something to look forward to. But it's complicated. It really is complicated. But I do think that it is an okay movie. This movie's fine. It's definitely not the best movie in the MCU. It's far from the worst, though. And really what makes this film work is Paul Rudd here. So I'm going to go ahead and give Ant-Man and the Wasp a B. A B? Pun not intended, but that's funny. It's okay. It's on Disney Plus if you're interested in watching it. So if you are interested in watching that movie and you haven't yet, it is on Disney Plus, along with most of the MCU films, given that it is not the Incredible Hulk or the Spider-Man movies. But yes, I think it is a fine movie. Definitely not the greatest. Definitely not the worst. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys thought about Ant-Man and the Wasp. If we're not there already, when I get to 150 subscribers, I'm going to dress up like Spider-Man. I'm going to go to Walmart. I'm going to film the whole thing. It's going to be great. So if you want to see that, make sure you guys are subscribing and you're sharing with your friends, liking the video. And as always, keep watching movies and television. Stay educated, and I'll see you guys in the next video.